Hey everybody, welcome to day 3 of our challenge, and today is all about creating a balanced meal. So we've spoken about how you have been putting together all the ingredients for your Instagram profile and the things that you need to get together and what kind of content you're going to be putting out there. Now, before we start slapping tips and quotes and inspirational messages all over our feed, we need to get a little bit more focused around the kinds of colors and fonts so that we can create a balanced and consistent brand across your Instagram feed. So let's jump right into it. So the first thing that we need to do is focus on our colors. Now, sometimes, or the one thing I've noticed a lot of people do is they get really excited about color. And so they see a color here and they pull it in, and they see a color there and they pull it in, they like what somebody else is doing, so they pull that color in, and next thing you know, they're vomiting rainbows on their Instagram feed, and you don't want to do that. So how do we prevent that? Is by getting really focused and choosing colors that are right for us. So what is the recipe? Well, you're going to end up with about 5, maybe 6 colors. I'd try and keep it between 3 and 5 for your brand. And what that's broken up with, you have one main color. You can go to a maximum of 3, but I'd try and keep it to one main color and then 2 to 3 accent colors and then some neutrals. Your neutrals are your white, black and gray and your beiges and navies. Those are the neutrals you can add into your brand just to sort of finish it off and package it prettily. So in the play sheets, you'll see I've given you 3 different color palettes that I've been working on recently, and you'll see which ones I've highlighted as the neutrals, which ones are my main, and which ones are my accent. And then I'll show you tomorrow how those colors are laid out into an Instagram feed and how I've brought it into the brand. But for now, what I want you to do is figure out what is your main color, what are your accent colors, and what are your neutrals, and how do you then end up with the 3 to 5 colors for your brand. And just when you're doing this exercise, please bear in mind your ideal colors. So you may love a vomit yellow as your favorite color, but if your client doesn't like vomit yellow, then don't use vomit yellow. So try and also keep in mind the kinds of colors that your clients are attracted to. Then the next thing is fonts. And what I forgot to say about colors is that colors also have meanings behind them. So I'll give you a link in terms of where you can go and see what color has what meaning. Then coming back to your font. Sorry, I know I can talk about this for days because there's so much. I've got to be careful just how much detail I go into here. So when we look at fonts, we're going to look at about 2. I'm going to say go for 2 fonts, maybe 3, but if you're going to choose a 3rd font, then make sure it's a weighting of one of your other fonts. An example, you'll see in the play sheets, there are 3 kinds of fonts that I usually focus on. So you've got your sans serif font, which is your cleaner font. You've got your serif, which is your ones with the little squigglies on the end. And then you've got the scripted fonts, which could be a handwritten font, it could be a calligraphy, but those are your scripted fonts. So you've got to, out of all of those font choices, choose 2. And then say you've gone for a sans serif font and a handwritten font as an example. Then you don't want to add another handwritten font in because then it's going to look a bit messy. So what I would do is, if you really want to add in a 3rd font, you may say, okay, that sans serif, that clean font I have, then you might do a different weight of that. So, but ideally focus on two fonts and think about how you're going to pair them, because your font is, it kind of has an indication of your personality. So you want to make sure that your font, it portrays your brand's personality. And that is it. So today's challenge is to figure out your colors, figure out your fonts, and then pop them into the group. I can't wait to see what you've come up with.